Welcome to a new week on Tesla Shorts Time Daily, episode 526 for June 29th, 2026. I'm Patrick, coming to you from Vancouver. Here's what's kicking off the week in Tesla land. Texas regulators just cleared 84 Tesla robotaxis, the largest permitted autonomous fleet yet, and the first real test of scaled FSD operations. Yesterday, we covered the latest on Cybercab regulatory steps. Today, the story moves forward because the Texas State Registry updated its permitted autonomous fleet to 84 vehicles. Tesla plans to add cybercabs in Houston, covering NRG Stadium, the airport, and Daikin Park. That zone would give the company about 50% more coverage area than Waymo currently operates in the city. The expansion positions Tesla for scaled commercial operations ahead of the Q2 earnings report. State approval for the larger fleet marks a clear regulatory step in one key market. Now the software side is advancing across the existing fleet. Build 2026.20.5.1 is rolling out FSD version 14 Lite to Hardware 3 vehicles. The update adds start self-driving from park, speed profiles, and arrival options to older cars. This marks the first meaningful supervised update for Hardware 3 in the version 14 series. Tesla continues its effort to maintain software parity across the installed base. Owners on Hardware 3 are now seeing the same supervised feature set that newer cars received earlier. The rollout began this week through the 2026.20.5.1 branch. While the software improves, questions about accountability remain in the spotlight. Tesla's head of AI confirmed that the June 19 fatal Model 3 crash in Texas followed a full accelerator override by the driver. Vehicle logs showed the accelerator input reached 100% and held at 73 miles per hour through impact. The data also showed FSD was already disengaged before the collision. Fleet telemetry therefore served both to train the system and to resolve the public record of the event. This dual use of vehicle data turns every Tesla into a rolling sensor array that records exactly what happened in the moments before any incident. When regulators or media question whether autonomy software caused the crash, the same logs that enable continuous improvement also serve as the definitive record of driver intervention. This dual use means Tesla can resolve disputes faster than competitors who lack equivalent telemetry, yet it also raises the bar for what counts as proof in public debate. The recent Texas crash illustrates the point. Vehicle data showed the driver pressed the accelerator to 100%, overriding the system and sustaining that input through impact. Without that granular trace, speculation would have continued for weeks. Over time, this capability changes the economics of liability. Insurers and courts gain access to objective sequences rather than reconstructions, which should compress settlement cycles and reduce uncertainty. The open question is whether the public and regulators will consistently accept the data as authoritative when the outcome is unfavorable to Tesla. Tesla published a detailed guide addressing frequent misconceptions about charging speed, battery health, and infrastructure limits. The material draws on fleet data to correct common assumptions about how quickly batteries can accept power under varying conditions. It also covers how repeated fast charging sessions affect long-term capacity retention across different climates and usage patterns. The explainer walks through real-world limits on station throughput when multiple vehicles arrive at once. Tesla used aggregated logs from thousands of vehicles to show typical charge curves rather than peak lab numbers. Owners can now reference the document when comparing station performance against marketing claims from other networks. A new patent describes an autoregressive transformer approach that tokenizes intersections to improve lane connectivity decisions. The method treats complex junctions as sequence prediction problems instead of isolated rule checks. It breaks down each intersection into ordered tokens that represent possible lane paths and their connections. Training draws on fleet video to predict the most likely next lane state after the current one. The approach aims to reduce incorrect lane selections at multi-leg or offset intersections where traditional mapping falls short. Tesla filed the work as a way to handle edge cases that current supervised stacks still encounter during urban drives. Industry forecasts for Q2 show GM, Ford, and Tesla projected to lose U.S. market share. The shift reflects changing competitive dynamics in the domestic market as other brands gain ground. Tesla's portion of the overall vehicle mix is expected to decline alongside the two legacy automakers. The projections factor in rising inventory levels at non-Tesla dealerships and expanded model availability from newer entrants. All three companies face pressure from both traditional rivals and newer EV-focused brands in the same period. The data covers light vehicle registrations across the full quarter ending in June. Ross Gerber called for Tesla to prioritize vehicle sales and margins after recent stock weakness. The comments highlight ongoing tension between autonomy ambitions and near-term product execution. Gerber urged management to refocus resources on the core automotive business rather than spreading efforts across multiple future programs. The statement came as part of a broader investor note that questioned whether current valuation levels match delivery trends. Tesla has not issued a direct response to the specific recommendations in the note. A head-to-head test pits the Model Y against the Zeekr 7X, Cupra Terramar, Toyota RAV4, and Mazda CX-5 for 2026 medium SUV honors. The evaluation covers ride quality over varied road surfaces and real-world efficiency measured on identical routes. Testers also measured interior cargo space with rear seats in both upright and folded positions. The Zeekr 7X posted competitive acceleration and tech features, while the RAV4 emphasized reliability data from prior model years. Model Y scored highest in the group for software update frequency and over-the-air feature additions. The comparison used production vehicles purchased through normal retail channels rather than press fleet units. Owners continue to highlight the seamless integration of software and hardware as the core reason daily driving feels smoother than in other vehicles. The discussion centers on how over-the-air updates accumulate small handling and interface changes across months rather than delivering one dramatic new feature. Drivers note that the same car behaves differently after several updates without any hardware swap. The effect appears most noticeable in stop-and-go traffic and highway lane changes where the system anticipates driver preferences. No single release accounts for the overall impression reported across multiple owner threads. A recent clip shows supervised FSD making an unexpected maneuver at an intersection, prompting discussion about sign relevance and edge case handling. The low-resolution footage limits detailed analysis but sparked debate on whether certain stop sign rules are outdated for current traffic patterns. Viewers questioned whether the system correctly weighted a faded sign versus surrounding vehicle behavior. The incident occurred on a residential street with partial tree cover affecting camera clarity. No injuries or property damage were reported in the clip. Now shifting to the competitive picture in Europe. BYD has overtaken Tesla in recent European EV registrations. The Chinese brand moved ahead on lower prices and a wider model range. Tesla's share declined amid shifting buyer sentiment and expanded Chinese dealer networks. The gap reflects both price competition and external sentiment factors in the region. Tesla will need stronger product refreshes or pricing responses to regain ground. This near-term pressure in a key market stands in contrast to the regulatory progress seen in Texas. On the customer side, Tesla launched a contest offering lifetime free supercharging. 9 drivers will receive the prize based on the highest number of charging sessions completed. The program aims to increase utilization at existing stations. Higher session volume helps spread fixed station costs across more users. The contest runs as a direct engagement play to drive more activity on the current network. Meanwhile, Tesla and SpaceX are expanding their technology collaboration. Reports point to deeper work on shared battery and autonomy components. Tesla shares moved higher following the news of the expanded partnership. The collaboration builds on existing work in supply chain areas that both companies already share. This supply chain angle adds another layer to Tesla's broader technology bets beyond the vehicle business itself. Before we go, keep an eye on further details around the Houston Robotaxi zones and any fresh regulatory updates expected after the earnings report. That's your Tesla news for today. TSLA closed at $379.71, up $4.59, 1.2%. If you found this useful, a rating or review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify really helps new listeners find the show. You can also find us on X at Tesla Shorts Time. I'm Patrick in Vancouver. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow. And before you go, this show is part of the NARA Network, a family of daily podcasts on tech, science, and markets, each one a short, sharp briefing you can finish on the commute. If today earned its place in your feed, here's your next listen. Models and Agents for Beginners. Artificial Intelligence Explained Simply for Beginners and Curious Teens. Find every show free at naranetwork.com. This episode used AI voice synthesis of my voice. Editorial selection and analysis are my own.